What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I do apologize for my absence. I know it's been a while, but life kind of got in the way, and we'll explain that in a different video. But this video is simply just a welcome back video for myself to get into the habit, to get into the swing of things, to start producing content like I was previously, hopefully doing weekly videos and things of that nature. So again, this video is just a welcome back video where we're just gonna head to the gym, get a lift in with Marcos. And when I mean a lift, we're actually doing CrossFit because I've been obsessed with CrossFit lately, and we'll talk about that later. But today's video is going to be really just me working on my squat cleans, my front squats and back squats, and hopefully you guys take away something that can help you improve in those areas as well. Today's gonna be my first time ever doing a squat clean, so it should be really interesting, and hopefully you guys take away something on how to not do it, because I'm probably gonna mess up a whole fucking bunch of times, but whatever. So it's gonna be fun. I hope you guys enjoy the video. We're gonna head over to Signature Fitness now and meet up with Marcos and catch you guys over there. So one of the things that I like to do personally before I go to the gym and I do something that's CrossFit style, something that's high intensity, is I like to mix my BCAAs with my Gatorade. And so what I tend to do is I get a serving of my BCAAs. I put usually about one serving of Gatorade in there. And the reason I do this is because a lot of times, for me personally at least, when I'm at the gym, I burn anywhere between 800 to 1,000 calories at the gym, and to help my body replenish, I put the Gatorade in there to help my body feel like at least there's still nutrients and something going into my body to help me recover at least fairly quickly. And I find it to be very effective for myself. Try it out for yourself, see if you like it. And honestly, it doesn't taste too bad because Gatorade is sweet, and then if you have a decent tasting BCAAs, it goes pretty well with each other. So we're gonna get that ready real quick, and we're gonna head out because we gotta start filming. Get those front squats in. And yes, I do measure out my Gatorade because I don't want to fucking start pouring a whole damn cup of Gatorade in there, and I'm like, oh, that's way too much, right? So I do half Gatorade. I mix the other half with water to help dilute it a little bit, mix it up a little bit. And I think Jake actually gave me this idea about putting Gatorade in there, now that I think about it, because he had gave me some supplement that I would mix with Gatorade and my BCAAs, and it was like almost kind of like a weight gainer. And so I started doing that, and I really liked the taste behind it, and I also helped me find it, like it gave me a better pump at the time when I was primarily doing more like bodybuilding movements. But I have since removed that weight gainer and just been doing BCAAs and Gatorade, and I've been using it for my CrossFit workouts, and I find it to be really effective, so give it a shot. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the voiceover portion of the video. I had initially recorded content at the gym where I was speaking directly to the camera, but the music was quite loud and I didn't like the quality behind the videos, so I wanted to just opt for the voiceover instead. Here we're going to start with Marcos just showing and demonstrating the alternative version for doing a front squat, which is holding the bar across your body. He does that personally because he's not quite comfortable with doing a front squat the way I am showing in this certain clip right now, where I'm flaring up my elbows and rolling my wrist back. That's something that I still need to work on personally, but if you're relatively new and really new to front squats, I really recommend that you at least hold the bar the way that Marcos was doing it, just because you'll find a little bit more comfort behind that and you can get used to doing front squats. And on the side, you can start working on your shoulder and your wrist mobility. Those are two things that I'm personally working on, and you know, by no stretch of the imagination is it perfect, but it's gonna take time for me to get used to that mobility and that range of motion, just because these are things that I have never personally done. And if the same applies to you, then I definitely suggest doing the route that Marcos was taking. He was able to move some weight. Marcos is relatively strong, so for him, he can move the weight pretty easily. So having this position for himself worked very well because he doesn't have that shoulder or wrist mobility. I think that's something he might want to work on, but at the end of the day, if you don't have that wrist or shoulder mobility, opt for the alternative version. It will help you in terms of strength, in terms of your front squat, so you can work on that movement specifically. And then as you improve on your mobility, then you can start incorporating, you know, your shoulders being flared up, your wrist rolled back, the way I'm showing in my clip specifically. So in this specific set, what we're doing right now is we're doing a 10, 8, 4, 6, 2 split, where we work up to our heaviest set being 2. Just trying to move, you know, in a correct fashion, making sure that we can, you know, get a good range of motion in terms of our front squat. For me personally, I want to make sure that my elbows remain flaring up, and my wrists rolled back. You can see that I'm struggling a little bit as the weight gets heavier, and that's because for me personally, the wrist portion of the weight where I was holding it just was killing me, and it just tells me I need to work more and more on my wrist mobility, because it's something that it's not there right now. So as we start to work up, the weight felt fine. It was just more about my wrist being uncomfortable at that position, but that comes with not really having that type of mobility. We worked up, I believe, to 185 for a set of 2. The second set, the first rep, I felt fine. You saw I got a good range of motion, able to go up and down, no problems. The second one, I struggled. I think my elbow actually hit my knee, which told me that my elbow was dropping down too much when I'm doing my front squat. So just be conscious of that. When you are having your shoulders flared up, you want to make sure you keep your elbows up and your back straight. Next, we moved into the back squats. And specifically, we were working on a 5x3. At this point, you're probably gonna be fatigued when you're doing these squats, because front squats do take a lot out of you, especially if you're not used to it. But we were able to start off with 225, able to move it relatively easy, moved up to 245. This is where I started to kind of struggle at squats. I am relatively strong with squats when I do practice them frequently, but unfortunately, I go to Planet Fitness where there is no barbell, so I'm not able to get my squats in as much as I would like to. I'm probably gonna have to start working with the Smith machine to make sure I continue doing squats relatively frequently, at least twice a week. Within CrossFit, that's something that's very prominent and very important. You'll see that, throughout the sets, myself and Marcos continuously keep moving up in weight. At this point, we're at, I believe, 275, and this is where I started to really feel like I was fatigued. The first set, you see, I struggled. The second rep, this is where Marcos came in and helped me out. If he wasn't there, I probably would have just fell to the ground. And then the third, even worse, went down, and I just felt like I couldn't get myself back up. And that's probably because, one, it's my diet right now. It's relatively low carb. I'm trying to lose some weight, trying to get down to 180. And also probably fatigue. It was later on in the day. I was hungry. It was probably like 11 o'clock at night that we were doing these squats. I was hungry, and we also had done front squats. Not to make excuses, but I felt that's why maybe I didn't perform as well as I could have. That being said, it's something that I'm going to start working on a little more frequently, is my squats, and working on my deadlifts, working on my squat cleans. And that's the purpose of these videos, is just to really show progression behind this. Me personally, I was doing lower back squats, and that's for me because I know I can move a little bit more weight. You can also opt for the high bar squats. Each form and each variation has its own benefits. So do what works for you, and do it what you feel comfortable with, right? So if you feel more comfortable having the low bar, it's a little bit of a tighter position, but for me, it feels like I have much more control. While when it's higher up, it feels a little more comfortable on my shoulder blades or wherever it's supposed to lay on my back. But I felt like, that for me just made more sense to do lower back. You see here, Marcos pretty much almost died. He was trying to go for his 3, but I guess he was fatigued, and glad I was there to help him out. I believe this is either the 4th or the 5th set of our 5x3. I went back up to 275. I felt a lot better on the first 2. Third one, I ended up just, again, crapping out. And I think at this point, it was just really just coming down to fatigue, hunger. At a certain point, I was almost mentally checked out of the workout, just because I was recording, trying to do squats, and there was just so much going on. I had worked earlier in the day, so I was just really, mentally drained. So I feel like that was part of the issue that I was facing at the gym. So, for me, it's kind of tough in terms of gym schedule. I do go to Planet Fitness a lot more often. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that a lot of times I'm at Planet doing high intensity workouts, primarily with dumbbells. Barbells are kind of non-existent in my workouts right now, just because it's limited access. But you have to work with what you have, right? There's no excuses. You should be getting into the gym, working with what you have, and just don't make any excuses to yourself, right? Even if Planet Fitness isn't the best gym in the world, I make the most of it. I get my cardio in. I get a really good workout in. Even if it's with dumbbells, I'll do dumbbell deadlifts. I'll do goblet squats. I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure I'm working the way I want to. But with that being said, we moved into the squat cleans, really just baby weight at this point. It was just for me to get used to the movement. It's my first time ever attempting to do a squat clean. I feel like I should be snatching it a little bit more, and you'll see as the video progresses, you'll see that what's ended up happening is that I found it more comfortable to do more of a hang clean as opposed to a squat clean. I think I got those terms right, but regardless, I felt like you'll see like I'm working on just trying to snatch it and really place it on my shoulder blades and remaining my shoulders up while I go down. And as I progress, I feel like I started getting more comfortable, and I felt like it was getting a little bit easier for myself. Hopefully I can get back into the gym and practice these again. Again, for me, the biggest point that I want to make is progression, right? We all start somewhere. We're all beginners at certain points of our lives, whatever we're doing. The same applies for me right now with doing these squat cleans. It's gonna apply for me when I do overhead squats and snatches and things of that nature. You're a beginner, and if you're a beginner, be okay with that, be comfortable with that, just because it's part of life. Even if you start a new job, you're a beginner, you're gonna have questions. And so for me, I'm gonna take this video, I'm gonna run with it, and I'm gonna send it over to somebody that I trust that knows how to do squat cleans. He actually does CrossFit, and actually right now you'll just see that I freaking hit my face with the barbell, which was hilarious. But I mean, yeah, so just don't make any excuses. You know, if you want to work on something, just work on it. You know, right now my biggest priority is to focus more on just working up the sweat, getting used to doing rows, to doing high intensity workouts and things that challenge myself, right? Because for me, I'm not used to doing high intensity workouts, and I've been doing it for 3 months now, and I still find it to be challenging every single time, day in and day out. And I personally enjoy it. It's not for everybody. If it's for you, great. If it's not, then you find what works for you and you continue hitting that. That's what, you know, motivates me every day, is to just keep going to the gym. Is like, wow, like I love doing these workouts. So I highly recommend that you find that niche for yourself and you go for it. We end the workout with just a small workout of the day to just kind of really work up a sweat. So what we're doing is, I believe we were rowing for 15 to 20 kcals, and while that person is rowing 15 to 20 kcals, the other person is doing kettlebell snatches, alternating arms, just to really work up a sweat. And I think we did either 3 rounds. I think initially we said 5 rounds, but I honestly was so dead after this that I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna do 5. I can't do 5. Not a good mentality to have, but I was like, damn, dude, I'm tired. So that's the only reason we stopped short. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm glad to be back. I'm really excited for what's to come, just because I know that I've been dying to get back into, you know, producing content and making videos and things of that nature. You know, now that I moved into the new home, I find that I have my schedule that I know I can work with. So I'm hoping that I can start producing more content both on Instagram and YouTube, and start building what I first started about a year ago. So if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.